I mean, I still thought you guys played a really good game. I'm curious what your thoughts on it. I thought you had a good start. I mean, you didn't like, it wasn't like anybody blew you out of the water. Yes, they got a couple of crazy, weird goals, a tip and off the backboards, but you want to talk about your start?
Yeah, actually, we almost scored in the first shift. We got
Yeah.
a shot from either Gabby or Jig, I can't remember, that almost found its way to the back of the net. A couple good shifts, yeah, a couple good shifts, but then they started hemming us in our D zone, and I think we gave them too much time and space and sort of sat back on our heels, and that's what happens when you do that. You know, those 2 goals they got in the first were unfortunate, but honestly, they could have scored a few more with the way that they were shooting and having, like I said, all that time. And I thought so. It did a pretty good job in the first to keep it close. But I really like the way we came out in the second and the third, those 40 minutes. You know, we started playing our game just a little more free, a little more aggressive, offensive. And I know we definitely doubled our shot total in the second. So that was good to see. We wanted to get pucks to net, saw some things in their goaltender that made us want to do that. And like to see Gabby Kraus rewarded there off of a nice play from her whole line. Taylor made a nice chip in the neutral. Mannon picked it up perfectly, placed far pad shot. Nice rebound goal for Gabby. So nice to see the third line getting in on the score sheet. And you know, like I said, I like the way we played for the last 40. I feel like if we had another minute, I think we would have gotten that tying goal. And I thought we had a lot of momentum. So I like the way we finished out the semester. Certainly wanted those 3 points. But I think a lot to hold our heads up for.
You guys are coming off of, you know, like you're saying, you're finishing up 2021 with your league schedule at least. And, you know, you split 3 of 4 series with top 5 teams. Does that feel good, or does it feel like that's not enough? You want more? How do you think about that?
Well, I think, you know, if I think back to the first Minnesota series, you know, that we didn't play well in the first game. We played well in the second game, got the win. Wisconsin, we didn't play well in the first game. We played really well in the second, should have gotten a win there. So that one stings. Third series, Ohio State played great in the first game, not well enough in the second to get a win. This one, I really feel like we should have come away with 2. We played well enough last night to get that win. And I thought, you know, like I said, the second and third periods, we really came alive. And I feel like we could have gotten 2. So, you know, I think it tells everybody, we talked about this last night, that we are one of the top teams in the country. And, you know, it's there, and I'm excited about the second half. And I'm glad we don't have a very long break, because I think our team is coming together and playing really good hockey.
And, you know, they were saying on the broadcast, which is without a question, that they thought that you have the top line in the country.
Yeah.
Do you credit Minnesota tonight for kind of keeping in check? Or, you know, last night it looked like, boy, your kids could get on the back post and had a lot more freedom. And tonight they kind of were wet blanketing them a little. Was that Minnesota more than
a little bit of both? I think, you know, Friday nights we certainly have a lot more jump. So we were able to get around them and create a little more speed through neutral ice. And tonight I thought that line had some opportunities. And I know that the Gophers were honing in on them, because a lot of teams think if you shut down our first line, you're good to go. And that's why I love seeing our third line score. Love seeing Rogie score last night, because we're not a one-dimensional team. And it might have worked tonight for a little bit, but I don't think it'll work in the future.
Claudia, do you have anything? I know you're driving.
I'm stopped right now. I'm waiting. I didn't get to watch the game fully, but what would you say was the biggest reason why you guys couldn't finish off that comeback late tonight? Like, what was Minnesota doing really well that prevented you guys from getting that game tying or that game winning?
Yeah, I mean, we pulled the goalie with 2:12 and kept them in their zone for most of that time. I think all weekend they did a good job of clogging up the net front. So they kept us to the perimeter a decent amount, and they're physically strong. So any pucks that go to net and the rebounds were there, we got to be able to outwork them, out battle them, and they protected that house area well all weekend.
And we kind of talked about it last week, but just the fact that your team is able to continue to kind of fight back despite, maybe slow starts. What does that just continue to say about your team?
Yeah, I love it. I told them I love the way we're playing, from last Saturday where we weren't happy at all with how we played to this Saturday, against an equally formidable opponent in their barn. We learned from last Saturday and we were much better today. And like I said, we're disappointed that we didn't come away with the win. But I like the way we're playing. I like what we're learning, and I'm excited for the second half.
And what would you say is the biggest thing that you guys need to do in the second half to be able to pull off that sweep against the top-ranked team?
Yeah, I think, tonight the issue was we didn't start on time. It took us a little while. We had those first couple good shifts, and then we sort of went into a little too much defensive mode. So just getting ready and getting right after it again, because that's when we're good. We like to get in people's faces and be aggressive and play on our toes. So we have to do that night to night and not sort of wait and see what kind of game it's going to be.